In the dimly lit recesses of forgotten lore, there existed a whispered tale of an ancient deity, a monstrous god known as Cthulhu, said to slumber fitfully in a state of hibernation, awaiting the celestial alignment that would signal his triumphant return to reclaim the world. It was a notion that seemed to defy the rational mind, a concept so fantastical, so bereft of substance, that it was all too easily dismissed as the fanciful ramblings of a diseased imagination. And yet, as I delved deeper into the mystery, I began to uncover hints of a darker truth, a truth that spoke of a twisted cult, bound together by their devotion to this malevolent entity. The cult of Cthulhu, a cabal of fanatics, driven by a maddening desire to usher in the return of their monstrous deity, to bring about a catastrophic reckoning that would reshape the world in his image. Their twisted beliefs, a noxious amalgam of ancient myth and dark superstition, spoke of the Old Ones, a pantheon of eldritch beings who had ruled the earth in a bygone era, their dominion a reign of unbridled terror and chaos. These were the gods of a bygone age, forgotten deities whose malevolent influence still lingered, a malignant presence that seeped into the fabric of reality like a chill wind. As I walked the streets of New York, the steel and concrete canyons seemed to loom over me, casting long, ominous shadows that stretched and twisted in the flickering light of the street lamps. The city, a melting pot of cultures and creeds, was home to a dizzying array of faiths and philosophies, each one a unique thread in the rich tapestry of human experience. And yet, amidst this kaleidoscopic backdrop, I sensed a discordant note, a jarring presence that seemed to reverberate through the very air itself. It was as if the city, with all its mundane concerns and petty squabbles, was merely a facade, a thin veneer that concealed a far more sinister reality. I had been searching for weeks, scouring the city's hidden corners, talking to those who dwelled on the fringes of society, the outcasts and the misfits, who seemed to be drawn to the darkness like moths to a flame. And it was on one such occasion, in a crumbling, run-down tenement, in the depths of the city's most impoverished district, that I stumbled upon the first tangible evidence of the cult's existence. A tattered, yellowed pamphlet, adorned with strange, arcane symbols, and filled with the rantings of a madman, spoke of the impending return of the great Old Ones and the glorious chaos that would ensue. The language was florid, overwrought, and shot through with a lunatic fervor, and yet, as I read the words, I couldn't shake the feeling that there was something more to this, something that spoke to a deeper, more primal fear. The pamphlet, it seemed, was merely a recruiting tool, a beacon, calling out to those who were already attuned to the dark frequency, a siren song, luring the unwary into the abyss. And as I looked around the squalid, cramped room, I realized that I was not alone, that unblinking eyes, hidden in the shadows, were watching me, waiting to see if I would take the bait. The air was thick with the stench of decay, and the shadows seemed to writhe and twist, like living things. I felt a creeping sense of dread, as I realized that I had stumbled into a realm where the boundaries between reality and madness were blurred, where the horrors that lurked in the recesses of the human psyche were given free rein to roam. The cult of Cthulhu, it seemed, was not just a figment of a diseased imagination, but a living, breathing entity, a monstrous, hydra-headed beast that was slowly, inexorably spreading its dark influence across the face of the earth. As I left the tenement, the city seemed to stretch out before me like a twisted, nightmarish landscape, a realm of dark wonder, where the rational and the irrational coexisted in an uneasy symbiosis. The cult, it seemed, was merely a symptom, a manifestation of a far deeper, more insidious malaise, a sickness that had infected the very fabric of reality itself. And I, a mere mortal, had stumbled into this abyss, with no safety net to catch my fall, no guiding light to illuminate the darkness. The only constant, it seemed, was the creeping sense of dread that had taken up residence in my mind, a cold, dead weight that threatened to consume me whole. The old ones, those ancient, eldritch beings who had ruled the earth in a bygone era, still lingered, their presence a malignant, unseen force that seeped into the world like a chill wind. Their return, it seemed, was not just a possibility, but a certainty, a catastrophic event that would reshape the world in their image. And the cult, that twisted, fanatical cabal, was merely the vanguard, the advance guard of a far larger, more complex and more sinister movement. A movement that threatened to engulf us all, in a tidal wave of madness and chaos and destruction. As I walked, the city seemed to grow darker, the shadows deepening like wounds that would never heal. The cult, it seemed, was not just a cult, but a doorway, a portal to a realm of unutterable horrors, a realm where the laws of reality were twisted and distorted and broken. And I, a mere mortal, had stumbled into this doorway with no way out, no escape from the abyss that yawned before me like an open mouth, waiting to consume me whole. The darkness, it seemed, was closing in, the shadows coalescing into a living, breathing entity that would soon engulf me and the world in an eternal, nightmarish embrace.